Hi science teachers, welcome to Real Science Challenge. I'm Kent Louie, teaching science and broadcasting from beautiful Vancouver, Canada. And whether you're a new teacher, a season one, or somewhere in between, thank you for doing an awesome job teaching your students and developing this craft we call science education. Now today is another episode of Back Pocket Science Lessons, where I share a science lesson in my back pocket that I can use during emergencies. Like when you're filling in for Carl, who called in sick and forgot to leave notes for the substitute. Thanks, Carl. Today's back pocket science lesson is called the simple nerve test. And you'll need a paperclip, one ruler, and a pencil and some paper to record the data. Now, if you're trying or have tried this lesson with your class, please let me know how it went in the comments section below. You can get the handouts, for this activity at realsciencechallenge.com EP9 and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, let's get this started. Here's a question. Where do you think is the most painful place to get a bee sting? Maybe it's somewhere on the face, like right here below the eyes. Or maybe it's right here along the inner arm. I hear it's pretty painful to get a tattoo right there. Or maybe it's down below, on the front or back side. Now, in a research paper published in 2014, one researcher subjected himself to multiple rounds of bee stings all over his body to answer that question. And it turns out one of the most painful parts to get stung by a bee is on the upper lip. Now, one reason for this is because the lip has a lot of nerve endings. And as the researcher explained, areas with more nerve endings meant a greater ability to feel. And with regards to bee stings, feel pain. Now, conversely, areas where the bee stings were not as painful had fewer nerve endings, like on the upper arm here, or on the forearm here, which explains why people get tattoos there. So let's put this to the test and see which parts of the body are more sensitive than others. First, take a paper clip and unwind it into a U.
Like this.
And then use a ruler to adjust the distance between them so that the width between the 2 points is about 2 centimeters. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's about 2 centimeters. Then find a part of the body to test. Now, I'm going to use the forearm today. And find a lab partner to help poke you right there. Now, I have my own personal lab assistant today who's going to help me poke my arm, all right? And she's going to poke either one or two pokes. May I have that back? She's either going to poke my forearm with two, like that, or one end. And I'm going to have to guess if it's one or two tips that are hitting my forearm. Okay, you ready? I'm going to close my eyes. All done? All done. And these are my results for 2 centimeters. And these are the results. All my guesses, rights and wrongs. So as you can see, it's not too great. It's about 60% success rate there. Now, what we're going to do, take the ruler. May I have that little pin back? And we're going to reduce the size down to 1 centimeter. So we're going to take this, we're going to reduce the size to 1 centimeter. To about that distance right there. That's about 1 centimeter. All right. And we're going to repeat that thing to see what happens to the sensitivity as I go down to 1 centimeter. You ready? Let's repeat this for 1 centimeter.
Okay.
Back to my assistant. Here you go.
Okay, other assistant.
Okay, let's get started.
All good.
Let's take a look at the results now. As you can see, a comparison between 1 centimeter and 2 centimeters. As you can see, it's it's about the same. It's about 60% effectiveness at my guesses, I guess. Now, we're going to switch it up and we're going to test the lip exactly the same way. We're going to do 2 centimeters and 1 centimeter to see if there's any difference. Yes, thank you very much, assistant. If there's any difference in the lip and the forearm. So let's get this started. So we're going to take this, go back to 2 centimeters. We're going to raise the distance between here back to 2 centimeters. Let's take a look. Yes, thank you. It is 2 centimeters. All right. And we're going to do that all over again, except this time we're going to do the lip. So let's move this a little closer and you're going to tap me on the lip right there. Okay, ready? 2 pokes or 1 poke?
Okay.
Awesome. And check it out. But oh, what the? 70%, slightly better, I guess, right? And let's do it one more time with 1 centimeter. You have to poke it a little harder, all right? So make sure the pokes are about the same pressure, okay? Ready? Same spot, same pressure. Well, one last time, 1 centimeter.
Can we do it on your nose?
Nope. Upper lip, please.
Beep, beep. All done.
All good. So finally, take a look at this. This is the last line, 1 centimeter. Oh man, 1 centimeter turns out to be better than 2 centimeters. So perhaps, well, we'll get the, perhaps it's because the poking was slightly more consistent in the 1 centimeter than 2 centimeters. It's a very light poking. It's hard for the person. It's hard to tell for the person doing the experiment whether it's 1 pokes or 2 pokes. So when you do this experiment with your kids, let them know that the pokes have to be pretty consistent. Has to have some pressure to it. It's got to be at the same spot. Thank you, assistant. Yes, okay. Check out my results. Forearm, but 60%. Whether or not it's 2 centimeters or 1 centimeter. But 6 out of 10 times, I guessed correctly, right? But if you go to the lips, right? But 7 out of 10 times, that was not very consistent poking, but with consistent poking. Check it out. 9 out of 10 times, consistent percentage of getting it right. So, what does it show? It shows, in fact, that the experimenter was correct. Areas like the lips with more nerve endings tend to be more sensitive because, well, we seem to be able to guess the 1 or 2 pokes a little bit better than if we're on the forearm, which actually has fewer nerve endings, and therefore it doesn't really sense the pokes very well. Round of applause for my assistant today. Yeah, woo woo! Thank you very much. And make sure you try this experiment with your kids. That's it for this episode of Real Science Challenge titled The Simple Nerve Test. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and let me help you with your science teaching journey. Thanks again to my lovely assistant who helps me with these illustrations and with my experiments. And thank you for watching. And remember, to science everywhere, every day.